sorry. Hello guys, so we're making this sew with Susie here. We're making an off-shoulder blouse. Our length of our blouse is 26, the bust is 47, the half length is 18, for the back it is 16, our natural waist measurement is 45, our hip is 58. All these measurements divide by 4. Those are the horizontal measurements. So for our vertical measurements, we do not divide our vertical measurements. We just minus and add in some cases. So for the length of my blouse, we have 26. This is the back of the blouse. I just did a rough log from, okay, let me explain this back log now. My length of my blouse is 26, but I'm cutting 24 at the back because the natural waist for the front and the back, they are not the same. The back is 16 inches while the front is 18 inches. So I'm going to minus 2 inches. The difference between 18 and 16 is 2 inches. So I'm minusing that 2 inches from my back block. So I will now have 24 as the length of my blouse. I'm adding a seam allowance of 1.5. Seam allowance for sewing, 1.5. It's an off-shoulder blouse, so I'm minusing 5 inches from the top of the blouse. Hope you can see what I'm talking about. From this top 5 inches, I'm taking off 5 inches because it's off-shoulder. So from my shoulder now to my waist is 16 inches. I added half inch for sewing, which is this line across. This is my waist line. Then from here, this is my zipper allowance, 1.5 inch. So all my measurements will start from here. From here to here is 1.5 inch for my zipper. Now my nipple to nipple measurement is 9. So from here to here is 5. 9 divided by 2 is 4.5. I will add half inch for seam allowance, which is 5. So from my center of my back to my nipple to nipple is 5 inches. That's this straight line across. Now on my natural waist, I will take out my darts. I'm using 0.75, 1.5 inch darts on both sides. So I'll divide by 2, which is 0.75 on the right, 0.75 on the left. So I put my tape at the middle of, I divide my tape, my 1.5, put the middle at the line, at my nipple to nipple line. Here I will mark my 0.75 and my here 0.75. From here to here is 1.5 inches. So I will connect this to almost the top of my dress, which is my 5 inches that I measured out. Like so. Then connect to the bottom of my blouse in form of a triangle. Like so. This is my dart. I'm going to take it out. I'll cut it out. When you finish sewing, you'll have a shape like this. This will give the blouse shape. So I want to cut that out. Before then, I'll impute all my measurements. Now, from the top of my blouse, after my 5 inches, my off shoulder is 49 divided by 4. I measure around the top of my shoulder, like so. You have to measure your client's off shoulder like so, as you can see. So mine for this client is 49. Divide by 4, we have 12.25. So from my zipper allowance, I will divide my 12. This unfold now. That will be 6.1. So from this point, I'm going to use 6.5. So I will mark my 6.5 like so. Now this is my dart line. I'm cutting to the top. I need half inch on both sides to sew it. So I'll add extra 1 inch, which is for joining of the darts. At that point, I'll take my armhole depth. My armhole depth, I'm using 4 inches or 3.5 inches. I minus 5 inches. 4 inches will give me 9, the armhole depth of 9. So I'm taking 4 inches because the person is relatively on the big side. So I'll connect like so. This is for the armhole. On this point, I will impute my bust measurement. Now my bust is 47, approximately 48. Divided by 4 is 12. So I put my tape. This is my 12. My sewing allowance of 3 inches. Why 3 inches? This dart, don't forget I'm cutting off this dart. I need ½ inch here, ½ inch here to sew, which is my 1 inch that I'm gonna, the extra 1 inch. The normal 2 inches standard for seam allowance, for sewing allowance. So I'm gonna add 3 inches on this part. Then on my waist area, my waist is 45. 45 divided by 4 will give me 11.5. So from my zipper allowance, I will measure to this first dart leg, which is 4.5 or 4.25. From there, I'll go to the second dart leg. I'm not measuring this dart along. 11.5 is my measurement, right? That's my waist measurement. I will add 3 inches for sewing allowance, because I have to join that my dart area as well. Now to the bottom of my blouse, I impute my hip measurement, which is 58, which is divided by 4, you have 14.5. So from my zipper allowance, I will measure my 14.5 plus my 3 inches allowance for sewing. So I connect like so, from the waist to the bottom, from the bust to the waist. Well, if you look, it looks as if it doesn't have shape, but after you finish taking in your darts, you'll see the shape coming out. Now on the zipper side, I want to take out ½ inch for my zip gauge from my zipper allowance, like so. Like a dart, you take it off. Same way you taking a dart. So when I'm not sewing my zipper allowance, it will come to not extend to this point, like so. I still have sewing allowance in my dress. Now I want to, the neckline for the back, I want to give it a curve. You can come down any depth you want. You can just do 3 inches plus the 5 inches, that's 8 inches in total. I'll come in 3 inches like so. I can connect it like so. You can see the neck curve. Now, not to forget, the bottom of my blouse, I want it to have a curve as well, a nice curve at the bottom. So I'll come up by 2.5 inches. You can come up by 3 inches if you want. Come by 2.5 inches, and I'll connect like so. If you have your curve, you can use it to do this shape nicely. So this is the back of my blouse. I'm done marking the back of my blouse, so I want to cut now. Don't forget coming up by 2.5 at the bottom, because it will affect the front of your dress. So I'm going to cut out my dark one. And not to forget, always cut on the wrong side of your fabric. So this is the back of my blouse. I'm going to indicate by putting an X, so I will know the wrong side of my fabric when I want to interface my fabric, because I will interface with either you use stay, wording, or paper stay. So it depends on what you want to use and how much your client is paying you to know what you are using for your interface. So thank you. This is the back of my dress. Thank you guys. Stay tuned for the front of the dress. Like, share, follow. So it's Susie. Thank you guys.